How do you deal with Ivy Crane? A woman who would say or do anything just to get Sam back again. Even lie about him being Ethan's father.
Well, Ivy's relentless, that's for sure.
Poor Sam. The situation that he's in. You know, I would go crazy if there was a threat to my family's happiness.
I know what you mean.
Honey, you're still not upset about those pictures with Whitney and Chad at the wedding benefit, are you?
Chad just seems way too familiar with our daughter. I mean, granted, he saved her life twice, but that doesn't give him the right to expect things in return.
Honey, relax, okay? Take it easy. Whitney and Simone, they're innocent when it comes to boys. And with you as their role model, I'm sure they'll stay that way until they get married. But let's go upstairs and say goodnight to our two angels.
Mom, Dad, I have something to tell you.
Sugar Bear, you seem upset.
What's wrong?
It's about Chad. He's in the house.
Chad is here?
Well, you see, he's...
Whitney!
Get off my daughter, you bastard!
Daddy, don't hurt him!
You think you can force yourself on my girl and get away with it? Hold on.
Daddy, please!
Everybody get out of here!
Daddy, he's hurt!
Wait. What is this about Chad being hurt?
It's his side! He's bleeding!
Oh my God. That's why he fell on top of me. He was weak from losing blood.
We found him. He was half conscious and bleeding on the wharf, and he wouldn't let us take him to the hospital. That's why we brought him here.
Okay, everybody, please, just get out while I examine him.
How is he?
Well, not well, I'm afraid. Exerting himself swimming after the prom boat sank opened up his surgical incision. So besides being in pain, he's running a fever. He needs to go to the hospital.
No. Hospital. I got no insurance. And I ain't taking handouts.
The blood on the chair at the book cafe, Karen showed me and Teresa. It was Chad's.
You knew Chad was hurt, and you didn't try to help him.
I wasn't sure, Simone. I went to Chad's apartment to see if he was okay, but he pretended like everything was fine. I cannot believe I didn't realize that he was hurting, and that he had been hurting for days.
Well, how did you know where Chad lives, unless you'd been to his apartment before?
That's right, Whitney. Have you been to Chad's place before? Whitney Russell, I am waiting for an answer. How do you know where Chad lives? Have you been to his place before?
Yeah, Daddy, I have.
Prepare to be an only child.
Well, I want an explanation, young lady, and I want it now.
Mom, when we were visiting Chad at the hospital right after the accident, Jessica was candy striping, and she asked me if I could just go to his apartment and get some clothes for him to wear home. And I said yes. How could I refuse? Chad had saved my life. It was the least that I could do.
You're right, honey.
I agree with your father.
Remind me to get Jessica for trying to play matchmaker.
TC, would you go to the hospital and get some antibiotics for Chad?
Sure, honey.
I'll call ahead and have a kit waiting for you.
Okay.
Mom, are you saying Chad can stay here?
Well, if we take him to the hospital against his will and he leaves, he could just worsen his condition. I'm not happy about it at all, but I think it's probably best for Chad if we just tend to him here.
Yeah.
I mean, after all, he did save Whitney's life. Not once, but twice.
Well, I'll be back shortly.
Mom, Chad is going to be all right, isn't he?
With rest and proper care, he should be fine.
Thank you so much.
Whitney, you're trembling. Is that because of Chad?
No, what do you mean?
Well, I'm wondering if maybe you are more worried about him than you let on.
What would make you think that?
the truth, Whitney. What is it that you really feel about Chad? Well, Whitney, what is it that you feel for Chad, really?
Chad is just a friend. And that photo, it's not what it seems. You know, this was all just staged for the benefit. The only thing I feel for Chad is gratitude to him for saving my life.
Well, I hope that that's true. No, I would hate for you to get involved with Chad out of some misguided sense that you owe him anything.
Well, trust me, Mom, the only thing I'm involved with right now is my tennis. I don't have time for boys, and that includes Chad.
Well, I'm very glad to hear that, sweetheart. And you have plenty of time for boys later. Right sort. Simone, what is that you're wearing?
Oh, it's just another top.
Go in there and change into something decent right now.
Yes, Mom. Oh, but where's Chad gonna stay once you dress his bandage and put him on antibiotics? He doesn't want to go back to the hospital.
And he shouldn't go home. I mean, he'd be there all by himself, with no one to look after him.
So you were suggesting that Chad stay here until he recovers?
No. I was just saying that maybe...
Come on, Whitney. Chad has saved your life twice. We owe it to him to save him.
Oh, well, how very altruistic of you, Simone. And how very self-serving. We'll talk about the reason that you want Chad to stay here after you go and change that top. Oh, was it a mistake to let Chad stay here?
You know, I do admit that having Chad stay with us until he's better would be a big change for us. And maybe even inconvenient at times. But, I don't see how helping him could be a mistake.
This is why, Whitney.
Mom, look, I already told you that was just because...
To raise money for charity.
Right. There's nothing going on between me and Chad.
Still, Whitney, between what happened up at the Crane cabin and this benefit, I mean, it's obvious that there is some familiarity between you and Chad. And some familiarity that I don't approve of. Now, couple that with misplaced gratitude you feel about his saving your life, and, you know, I don't know. It makes me feel very uneasy.
Look, Mom, you can trust me. Chad is the last guy on Earth that I would ever get involved with.
Okay, Whitney, I'm going to take you at your word. Just don't do anything that will make me lose faith in you.
I won't. I swear.
Oh, well, all right. Chad can stay until he gets better.